You know, I do like to ponder sometimes. And I was just pondering about why is it that some people are so rude and inconsiderate when taking public transport? Yeah, because you won't believe what happened to me the other day. So I've hopped on the bus down to the city centre to go get me a bra and a few other bits and bobs, because apparently they don't stock my size in the burbs. But that's a story from another day. So I've hopped on the bus down to the city centre, and I didn't mind so much that it was peak hour and I had to stand, because I mean, I get it. Kids have got to get to school, commuters have to get to and from work, all lovely, dandy. So anyway, next to me I sat two people who at the one stop get up and get off the bus. So I thought, oh, lovely, I can sit down and rest my legs. But then, out of nowhere, pops this woman with like 220 freaking shopping bags and a backpack that Dora the freaking Explorer would be proud of. And she sits right there in the seat that was next to me. And I thought to myself, well, that's blooming rude, isn't it? So now she doesn't want to freaking budge. And I have got to squeeze past her to go sit next to the window. Fortunately for me, on the day that God was handing out bums, she didn't really give me much. So I was all right getting past, but I thought to myself, that's just blooming rude. Anyway, if you've got any thoughts on the matter, I would love to hear what your thoughts are. Because I mean, public transport can be a very scary place from time to time. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. And if you happen to be that woman with the 220 shopping bags and the freaking massive backpack, do me a favour. Next time, just be a little bit more considerate, yeah? Thanks. You know, I do like to ponder sometimes. And I was just pondering about boobies. And I know I do ponder about them quite a bit, but that's only because I do like me a good set of knockers. And the reason I got to thinking about boobies is because I was watching the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion on the telly the other night. Because, you know, I do like me a good bit of Real Housewives every now and then. And if you'd seen them, oh my soul. All decked out in white sparkly dresses and the boobs to die for. I thought to myself, Andy Cohen must be in heaven. Oh, yeah. But it did get me to thinking, would I ever get a boob job? Because, I mean, on the one hand, I think one should be happy with the boobs that God gave him, right? And I mean, she wasn't stingy when she was handing them out with me. But on the other hand, I think to myself, well, I've reached an age where gravity is getting the better of them, and maybe I'd want a little bit of a lift, you know? Nothing wrong with a little boob lift here and there, is there? But look, I'm sure you've got some thoughts on the matter, so please feel free to pop something in the comments and let me know, because I mean, it's quite an interesting topic. Boob reductions, boob implants, boob, all sorts of things you can talk about with boobies, isn't there? But yeah, to boob job or not to boob job? That is the question. I do like to ponder sometimes, and I was pondering to myself, why is it that the idea of going to any government department fills one with absolute dread? Am I right? Yeah, because you won't believe what happened to a friend of mine the other day. She'd popped down to the Department of Labour to go sort out her UIF, because, you know, she had been paying in for years and years and years, and then she managed to lose her job. So she thought, you know what, I'm going to apply online and I'm going to try and get some money for the years and years and years and years that I've been paying into this fund, because that's what it's there for, right? So anyway, she tells me she plucks up the courage to go down to the department. Gets there, there's two lines. So she's like, okay, she's going to find out what's going on here. She checks that the one line is for people that are waiting to get their payments. The other line is for people that are queuing up waiting to submit their documents. So she's like, okay, she's going to wait in this queue for people that are waiting to submit her documents, since she wasn't able to upload them onto the online portal, right? So now she's all sorted, she's ready for this day, even though the sun is blazing hot. She's got her sun hat on, because, you know, she likes to protect herself from the sun. And she's got her packed lunch, she's got some water, so she's going to be fine anyway. Out of nowhere pops this man, who obviously works in the department, and he makes an announcement. You won't believe what he said. He said, due to the fact that the budget speech was made the other day and it being financial year end, there will be no payments processed until the 3rd of April. And she thought to herself, well, that's just ridiculous, isn't it? Can you imagine all those people who traipsed from far and wide, borrowed money from friends and neighbours most likely, and now they're being told to go home and come back on the 3rd of April? I mean, that's not right, is it? Fortunately for my friend, she was just submitting her documents. So anyway, she gets in eventually, and she's waiting in one of the queues. You know, the ones where you have to shift from seat to seat to seat until you're at the front of the line, right? So she gets to the counter where there's a senior administration clerk, and she thinks, oh, I must be in good hands here. And even though he wasn't really friendly and didn't seem like he wanted to be in the job, she, my friend, she's a very chatty person, you know, very lively, very chatty, always smiling, nothing like me. But anyway, so she smiles and talks to the guy and says, oh, well, here are my documents, here's my ID, and it would be great to get this sorted, because she's obviously been trying to get it sorted out for ages. And anyway, this guy tells her, well, the online portal has not been working at all. That is just the biggest load of codswallop that could possibly be spoken, because the human that she spoke to over the phone last week told her that all she needed to do was go submit her documents in one of the Labour departments and she'd be sorted. He said, no, that's not the case at all. We have nothing to do with that call centre. So what that tells me is that nobody in that department knows their arse from their elbow. Anyway, back to the story, because obviously I digress. But she says after this guy, the senior administration clerk, had helped her, he gave her back to the documents, and she was like, oh, you're not going to need these? He's like, no, I don't need them. I was just uploading your work history onto the system. You'll have to go to the other side where it's going to get escalated, he says. Fine. So anyway, she says her goodbyes. Oh, wait, she tells me while he was supposed to be helping her, he even took a call from a friend of his. Yeah, I mean, where have you ever seen a person who's supposed to be a civil servant acting like that? There to serve the people, but doesn't even want to have the job that he's got. Yeah, that's what it looked like to her. Anyway, I digress. She's gone to the other side to go see that this case gets escalated so she can get, you know, her application for UIF sorted. So then she waits, she does another bum shift situation from seat, till eventually she gets called up by another gentleman. The other gentleman takes her documents, takes her ID, looks on the system and tells her, well, no, we're not going to be able to help you here because this is like too old. So your claim is no longer on the system. She's like, that is a load of codswallop, she says to him, because I can show you the email thread that I have from every time that I have called into the call centre. So he says, yeah, we don't really work with the call centre. And I thought to myself when she was telling me, this is absolutely ludicrous. Because I mean, whenever you call into the call centre, apparently, there's an automated voice message telling you that all you need to do is submit your documents to the online portal, and the online portal is so efficient, and the self-service whatnot and whatnot. Turns out that's a load of codswallop because it hasn't even been working for over a year. Anyway, I digress. My friend gets told to go speak to the supervisor. She goes over to speak to the supervisor. The supervisor tells her, no, that the guy needs to check on another system. Why she couldn't check herself, I don't know. Eventually, she checks herself. She's like, no, I can see you on the system. Shouts over to the other guy, apparently. I'm talking about this like I was there myself because my friend painted a very vivid picture, I'll tell you. But anyway, she says that another lady pops up from nowhere and asks her, you know, what's going on here? Because she can see that my friend is getting a little bit agitated. So the lady behind the counter, the supervisor, explains to her what's going on. And the lady turns to my friend, and you will not believe what she's told her. She's told her, why don't you rather come back on the 3rd of April so that we can process your application? My friend did not know what to do with herself. She was absolutely livid. And this woman that had popped up from nowhere says to her, yeah, we don't really want to raise your expectations by submitting your application today. Where have you ever heard I couldn't when she was telling me. But anyway, I'm sure you've got some thoughts on this matter. So if you do, please feel free to pop something in the comments and let me know. Because I'm sure you've had your own nightmarish experiences at the government departments, yeah? UIF should stand for Unhelpful Institution of Frustration, yeah?